telling you how bad everything is around you? Have you squandered it all away? Have we let Him destroy us and put us down? If you have, then you ain't been delighting in God too much today. I can tell you that right now. You have not been delighted in the Lord. You have been down and out. You have been miserable about the situations going on, and there's probably more than one for some of you. There's probably multiple things that's going on, and it probably ain't no truth to most of it, and you've already got it figured out that there's no way, this looks horrible. I can tell you right now, even with my dad, that we had to take him one time to get surgery done. And they was going to remove a mole off his back, which we were confident it was cancer. And then we seen these other places starting to come up on him, so, well, we just knowed it was in his lymph system, and it was spreading like wildfire, and it was over. And I was just waiting to get the news it was cancer. I just waiting to get the news that we're going to have to start this chemotherapy, and I know Dad wasn't going to do it. He's wore out. So I said, well, this is it. I'm going to have so these hard times of trying to take him through his chemotherapy that he's not able. And I'm going to have to take him through these hard things that's going on. And man, how am I going to be able to get him around? And who am I going to get to help me? Because I really ain't got nobody in my family to help me. And how am I going to be able to get him around when he's sick like that? And he ain't able to get up and do these things. And there wasn't no cancer. See how we are? See how we get these things? And God right now knows your heart. And right now some of your hearts are full of these things that I'm talking about. They're full of these lies that Satan has filled you full of these things that's going on right now. And you cannot delight yourself in the Lord because your heart's too full of these what-ifs, as we've talked about before. And until you learn to delight yourself in the Lord and learn to trust the Lord, you're not going to get the desires of your heart. You've got to meet that condition before you get that promise. And you're wanting these promises. You're wanting to see these healings. You're wanting to see these promises manifested. You're wanting maybe a perfect home. Maybe you're seeking for a perfect home to be in your home. Maybe you want everything to be at peace in your home. But guess what? You're arguing too much to get delight in the Lord. Maybe you're letting too much situations get weighed upon you when we was talking about study to be quiet. Have we studied to be quiet? Well, we may be quiet in our mouth, but our mind is running wide open. We need to also study in our mind to be quiet. We also need to learn to study on that mind part to keep our mind shut up about all these situations too. It's not just our mouth that we got to learn to be quiet. It's our mind we got to learn to be quiet too, because that's where it begins at. Whether you realize it or not, your mouth don't speak unless your mind tells it to speak. And it's got to come from the abundance of the heart, then it comes out. And then that's how we get these things. So God does know your heart. Jesus knows your heart. That's exactly what the song says. And exactly what's going on. And exactly what the sister sung tonight. That Jesus knows your heart. And tonight some of you are heavy-hearted. And some of you are down and out about these situations. And I'm here to tell you right now that the situations that's going on is Satan getting you down and out, and you can't control it anyway. You can't control what's going to happen anyway. So why are you down and out? Why don't you delight yourself in the Lord and enjoy this day that the Lord has given us? Hey, it's thundering and lightning right now here in February, people. We ain't had no real rough winter. We ain't had no real high electric bills this winter, most of us anyway. We've had a fairly good winter. The Lord has blessed us that we've at least had a little extra money in our pocket, and we can't even be excited about that. We got to be down and out about all the situations that ain't even happened yet. But we done believe it. It's going to happen. Well, it's going to be a cancer. I remember before they done that surgery on Dad, I had one doctor saying we can do it. I had one doctor saying we can't. He won't come through it. He will. He won't come through it. He will. So I'm on the phone trying to get a hold of Lisa, who's in surgery. I got to talk to my wife. She knows emergency. She knows operating procedures. I don't know what to do here. Should Dad do this? I'm his guardian conservator. What if I let him put him to sleep and he don't wake up? What's going to go on? What's going to happen here? Well, oh my goodness, he's going to die and it's going to be my fault. It's all going to be me. What am I going to do here? Now, how can I delight myself in the Lord? And how can I trust God to say, God, He's in your hands. What does it? You got it all under control. You know what's going to happen. If it's His time to go, it's His time to go. I can't stop it. I couldn't stop it if I wanted to. If I would have said, don't put him to sleep, and it had been his time to go, he would have went on that operating table. He would have left here. But I couldn't have delighted myself in the Lord in any way, shape, or form because my mind was running with so much stuff and my heart was so full of these things that I was sitting here trying to study back and forth when all it comes down to is what we said. How can we have a good marriage with God also? What does it matter? What can I do about it? What can I do about these things? Well, I have no control over it. Who can change one stature with his thoughts, is what the Word says, paraphrasing it. Who can change one stature? Who can change one situation? How many of you have got the power that you can meditate? I seen this advertisement the other day when I was flipping through some channels on the TV about this mentalist guy that's supposed to be able to do these mental things. Now you tell me, how many of you's got that mental capability that this fake thing on TV's got, that you can change situations with your mind? How many of you's got that in this place right now? How many of you know anybody's got that? I know one man that's able to do that. And you know him too. But if we don't delight ourselves in him, guess where we're going to be at? We're not going to get the desires of our heart, and we're going to be a miserable puppy like we are tonight, and we're not going to be able to see the gifts of God manifest like we want to. And he says, and he goes on, I had more of this I was going to read to you, but I'm not going to. He says that he'll destroy our enemies. That's what he said at the beginning of this. My enemies are getting the upper hand. I fret because my enemies are getting the upper hand on me. What's going on in your heart? What's really going on in your fret right now because your enemy's getting the upper hand on you? That's what you need to do right now. You need to fret because your enemy is getting the upper hand on you, that you cannot delight yourself in the Lord. And God wants you to leave here tonight realizing that you're not trusting Him, realizing that you're not putting in His hands, realizing that He has it all under control, and you can fret all you want to. You can let the enemy cause you to fret all you want to, but it's not going to change how it's going to be the outcome of the situation. But you might as well learn to delight yourself in the Lord so you can have these desires of your heart. Do you not want that to manifest? Every one of us who have children, do we not want the best for our children? Do we not want them to have what they want out of their heart? Do we not want them, whenever you got a small kid and it wants a sucker and it's 15 cents, you'll go out in your car if you ain't got it. You'll dig everywhere you can to get 15 cents to get that kid a sucker, won't you? You'll do anything you can because that kid desires it. Well, we got a daddy that does the same thing. We got a daddy that loves us just as much or more than we love our kids. Actually, he loves us more. And He's wanting us to realize that tonight. Why are you not delighting yourself in the Lord right now? Why are you not excited about God right now? If you want to manifest in these things, if you want to see these desires of your heart, some of you desire a home that has joy and love and peace and has all these things in it. You desire that, don't you? Well, you're not going to get it unless you learn to trust God and delight yourself in the Lord. Some of you are desiring for things to happen, maybe a healing. Maybe somebody that's sick, you're desiring for them to be healed. Well, guess what? You're not going to get that heart's desire unless you learn to trust God and start delighting yourself in the Lord. And quit letting this enemy fool you and putting all this fret on you, is what the first words that we read to you tonight. We're not going to get it, people. Some of you are desiring to be used in these gifts. Some of you want to. I want to. That's one of my heart's desires, is to be used in the miracles. I want to be able to lay hands on the person that's got the wildered hand. I want to see it stretched out. I want to see gifts. I'm not saying God has not used us in gifts, but I want to see the gifts. I want to see the gifts. I want to know and see them with my eyes manifested before me, and me go, wow, that's really real, ain't it? I knowed it was, but man, I'm telling you, that's really real. That really is real. That's what we need to be tonight. We need to be delighting in God, because He's the one that can do it. He's the only one that can help you tonight, not the situation you're fretting about. It's not going to help you. It's drawing you away.